Welcome to Joints in Rotation, the podcast that gives and keeps on giving, puffs and keeps on passing, or whatever the hell we come up. It's too early to say that we've nailed a slogan per se.
I'd say so.
I don't think we're necessarily there yet, but this. Well, first of all, I guess we should start here. I'm Speedy Calhoun.
I'm Ant.
And yeah, we're two guys who got a lot of shit to talk about. So I guess let's just talk about it. I want to dive straight the fuck right in, because it's a lot going on.
All right, so diving in, Speedy, what is JIR?
What is JIR?
Yeah.
JIR is a hub, if you will, of content and thoughts, art, from predominantly from the two dudes that sit before you, but also just I think it's a company that wants to focus on culture and tech and art that means something to us that we think is really cool and we want to share. We also, in the meantime, want to amplify, black artistic voices, especially from Chicago, since, that's where we're based, and that's, it's the center of the world for us, but period. So,
100%.
Yeah, so that's pretty much JR, Joints in Rotation, pretty much how we're going to go through, all the content and all the topics we shall discuss. And we don't have them joints in rotation. Also, yeah, we smoke a lot of weed. So, there's that. So, yeah, well, I was thinking about it. It's a lot going on this week.
Yeah.
So, it's a couple things. We're going to go through these topics and, see if we're going to see eye to eye. Just talk about them because it's a lot going on this week. Starting with, I guess, the most obvious would be the George Floyd killing that happened, was it about 2 weeks ago now? Mm-hmm. A couple weeks ago. Yeah, and, all the shit that it's sparked. So we got every major city in the country pretty much has had forms of protest. A lot of riots. Well, yeah, riots. Not, riots have happened. Let's just say that. And yeah, people all around the world. You got people in, other countries also.
Yeah. Yeah, in other countries too.
Have you think we ever seen a reach like this before?
For our cause?
Yeah. Like
not in my lifetime though.
As in a universally because we it is about Black lives right now, and that's what's in the forefront. And I think that the equality we're fighting for is an equality that looks good for everybody, though. So because we're not trying to harm nobody, we're just trying to come up.
Looks good for everybody.
You right? I mean, yeah. But other people got a different sense of equality, like you know what I'm saying,
yeah.
But I think that the one that we're championing for is one that we're not trying to put nobody out besides the people that's been fucking us. So and even then we're gonna even the playing field. It ain't like we're trying to slit nobody's throat in the street or nothing.
That's real. With that being said, a lot
but
of
they shoot us in the street. So
talking about defunding police.
I think a lot of people think that defunding police means taking people just don't know. A lot of people have never had to think about the idea of police not being around. For a lot of white people, it's probably very hard to get your head around. A lot of people in general. But yeah, defunding the police is more so like it's a lot of people that are saying we don't want to totally take away all the money from it, but you got these major cities and like Chicago, what is 60% of our budget is for goes to some crazy shit like that.
Right, that's one of the things that got Lori in the office, right? She was proposing to fund the police, and here you are, a bunch of cities saying we shouldn't fund the police. I don't know. Do you think it's a good idea to do that?
I think yeah. I mean, yeah. There's no way the police need that much funding or should have that much
True,
funding.
true.
Like
This is
everything
very
that we're
true.
trying
Like,
to
I
take
really-
away from the police, I think is valid. I think that we do need to take power away from them. We do need to take more resources away from them and put them in other places, especially from a place that just shut down all these motherfucking schools and all this.
Exactly.
You know?
So, like, you could say that, like, routing funding from those places to the police just causes a cycle that makes the police need to be around. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's the idea, right? Like, you keep this group of people in the place that you want them in order to keep the system that is working for a lot of people that aren't us.
Right.
To keep it in place.
Exactly.
So, so it's so many ways. Like this systemic racism shit is so wild. And when you think about this shit, man, like
it really is.
like
right?
it's so many things to put people into place, and even how the that first week of protest went, like everything was just so evident. You know what I'm saying? How police were on the streets, they weren't here.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like y'all go ahead and tear, you know what I'm saying, Michigan up, tear Roseland the fuck up, tear this the fuck up. They kind of just step back. And that's what it is though. But I think that's that plays a part in the whole why a lot of people are fuck capitalism, fuck all that.
Yeah.
Fuck everything that is keeping the powers that be there. Mm-hmm. So I think that to answer the original question, I do think that we've never seen this shit before too. I agree with you there. However,
right,
it can only. It's only going to go as far as people are willing to take it.
Yeah, right, exactly. As far as the momentum moving forward, because I'm thinking even back when Rodney King happened, that's the last thing I can remember. Something like this happening, where it's like world news, where blatant act of racism. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just happened, and like even then, like was it world news?
It was big. I think
like,
media ran different back then though. Like.
Yeah.
Think about the 24-hour news cycle wasn't even probably a thing yet when Rodney King happened. It was breaking news. It was everywhere. But like now everything can, like, as much as they push one thing in the camera at all times, everything still eventually gets a light. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna show cars on fire straight 24 hours. There's gonna be a Huggies commercial in there somewhere. It's gonna be that dog in Oklahoma that saved the girl. And but 23 of the hours in a day will be, what they want to show. Right. So I don't know. I just think, and even how they're covering it, like when, people started, what I'm saying, burning shit down, it wasn't a lot of people there trying to understand. It was, this looks like this is what we're reporting. And, it's like, I don't know. It's a tough time for a lot of people, man. And I just think that, like, and it can only get, it got to get worse before it get better.
Yeah.
So if people really want it, and I'm doing everything I can from my understanding, from what I believe. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a protester like I used to be. I've been to tons of protests, but I don't protest like I used to because it's triggering for me because I've been in some situations with the police.
Well, let me ask you this. I'm sorry to.
Yeah.
But so the protests in general. So we've tried protesting before. The black people in general, and we've never got action like we've gotten action now.
Mm-hmm.
Like they say, peaceful protests. You protest peacefully. We hear you. But it's only until we, destroy shit that actually takes place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you have people running scared. You got companies that probably don't get too full. I don't give a fuck about a statement from Chick-fil-A. They got one out there though. Right. Please don't fuck us.
Yeah, but it's like why when we've been doing this protesting now, like you gotta force this. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, they definitely. But it all has to boil.
New. This isn't new.
It all has to boil over at some point. Yeah. And like whether or not this is the point, I think this is telling a lot, and I do think that it's gonna bring about some change. Do I think it's that final blow? No, I don't think so.
Do you think COVID was the breaking point, the quarantine and everything like that? Because I mean,
I think it's
think like this
changed
has
how people.
happened before.
I think it might have affected how
Everything.
America responded as a group. I think a lot of people just tired of bullshit. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying, don't have. There's some people that have went back to work, but not everybody's back at work. You know, so it's a lot of people who have been in their fields a lot more because of the isolation or being at home. So you know what I'm saying. It's a lot of people who might have been susceptible to feel more than they normally would have because of COVID. I think it's affected people's psyche way more than we believe.
To the point where, because I mean, I'm just thinking like people were cooped up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
itching to get outside, and then you do this thing when people are already just itching to be outside in the first place, and then this happens.
Now we got a real good reason to be outside. But yeah, I mean, you also, you know, it's a lot of people that took their house outside and, you know, was sitting watching people march from the patio of a bar. You know, it's like, you know, it's and a lot of places have opened up. I think Chicago specifically. Chicago is, you know, the melting pot we know it to be, just like any other big city would say they are. But we have so many good people that are with the shits here. And I like that first night where like LA had a really big one and Minneapolis was having really big turnouts. I was like, man, Chicago is about to go to fuck. At first I was thinking like, man, nah, police shoot niggas in Chicago. There ain't gonna be no rubber bullets. They just gonna kill us. And then,
well, those rubber bullets have been doing damage.
I'm saying like, and this is back when I'm thinking like they talking about rubber pellets. No, nigga, they talking about
like
aerosol cans. That shit was like an aerosol fucking can, bro. That shit look like the fucking Mario bitch with the eyes on it. That big ass.
Yeah, the big.
Boy, that shit crazy. But yeah, no, and like I just think that Chicago specifically. I can kind of see it as a group how COVID kind of affected it. I can't really speak for other cities, but I mean, it's a thing that the country would do. So, yeah. And this is a thing that, you know, the country is going through. There's been, you know, we got to uproot a lot of things to keep this thing moving. So I think that's the general point. I forgot what the original question was about defund the police. I think that's the general point though, because we have to uproot shit. Yeah, I've talked all over this shit. I just got a lot of thoughts about this shit. But anyway. Anyway, but even with that, how do you feel about Lori right now? Lori Lightfoot, Mayor Lightfoot.
See, in these circumstances, I don't know. The memes were funny, but I don't know. Honestly, I don't know, man, because she came in back in the police, and I wasn't really feeling that in the first place. You feel me? So it's like I just felt like it was adding more fuel to the flame when she came in the first place, and now it's like, so what really do you have now? What's your standing now that everybody's like really against the police, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Chicago is kind of like a police city to me in some regards. Like it's two sides. It's kind of like you know how you think of Boston, like police in Boston are and shit. Like Chicago kind of like feels like the same note at times to me. And so like yeah, it was unsavory when she came in talking all this police shit. But I'm like, I guess you the best option for the final at the end of it. But I think she handled COVID great. I thought she handled COVID fine. It's, you know, but this shit, you know, I don't know many people who would react well to this shit.
Yeah, as far as getting people in their homes, like, yeah, the marketing strategy is fantastic. But this thing, you know, especially when on the media, you know, there was that thing where she was telling the black kids to go, you know what I'm saying, go in the house. And you didn't see her doing that to the white people on media. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see that on the media. Whether or not it happened or not, I don't know. But definitely didn't see it on the news.
Yeah. I think that, I don't know. I have a question. Okay, put it like this. Do you think black people are forgiving enough I feel like once we turn out to the idea of you, it's like black cancel culture is totally like different because it's never no like it's hardly ever some all for one for all shit. But at the same time, like as a group, bro, once we done with you, it's a wrap. Like you feel me? And like, I don't think Lori was necessarily like in our favor like that to begin with. Like
exactly.
most of the motherfuckers I know,
she
like
wasn't
we can see
in my
this
favor
shit.
In the beginning. Yeah. And the way she handled the quarantine made me begin to look at her. Like,
I was like, I said, I thought she killed I thought she did okay for the quarantine shit. I don't know, but like I said, I don't know who will react good
under the circumstances,
the new circumstances.
Exactly. You know,
because like once motherfuckers are trying to hear you, they're trying to hear you, and like this is just me browsing Twitter on a brisk afternoon. You feel me? And it's like, damn. And I always get like, you know how often I log into Twitter, I'm like, damn, why we hate them? I gotta go investigate, figure that shit out. Right. Like, but like Lori, like one day I just be like, yeah, she is doing pretty good. And then the next thing it'd be like the fucking leaked phone call and shit that came out with her and the alderman and shit. He's like, fuck you. Like, nobody talked about the alderman. Everybody was like, Lori ass crazy. Like, I don't know. I think Chicago's gonna be okay, but we're also one of the last major cities to not announce any type of budget change or anything with the police shit.
Well, of course not, because
you think she just kind of like she's just playing devil's advocate, like, hey, it's just like, guys, keep it at bay. They'll get over it. Like, you think that's what she's telling the police?
Probably, but I want to circle back to something you said earlier. Are black people too forgiving?
Mm-hmm. Are forgiving enough to let somebody?
Yes, I would say black people are way too forgiving.
Like, you think we're too forgiving in the first place?
Yes, that's how we get in a situation now, right? but no, I was like that. But now that people
you say we're so forgiving, that's why we got on the boat.
Like 100%. No,
like, that's a dark boat, but I guess I'll check it out. Like what? Like.
I didn't mean it like that, but we are quick to forgive white people that obviously do shit against us. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, forgive or accept. Because there's a thin line there, right?
It's a thin line.
All right. Well, how about this? Off that, how about this? Do you think COVID is still a thing?
Actually, personally. I mean, I'm not. I think it's still a thing. Like, I'm not.
Supposed to say personally, like you have it and got it.
No,
got it and have it.
Do not have COVID. But
personally,
is it a thing? I think it's a thing, but like the mask thing, I'm just not used to that, so I'm not. You know, I forget. I go places, I forget the whole mask thing, but. I think COVID is a thing. You should be as cautious as ever, I suppose. You know?
Yeah. Be safe.
Be safe.
Be safe. Yeah. All right. Keep it simple, stupid. Everybody wearing masks. Everybody walking around looking like Katana and Scorpion. You gotta play Mortal Kombat, guy.
Yeah, it's like okay. 2 million cases now in America.
Okay. Winning middle realm. Play Mortal Kombat, nigga. All right. Let's do a quick pivot real here because we got some big news as far as yesterday.
Woo.
With the Sony The Future of Gaming event.
Oh, yeah.
So Sony, for those of you who were, potentially living under a rock, Sony yesterday had their big the Future of Gaming event, which, would take place of any type of keynotes that you would see at like E3 or, any of the other video gaming conventions, in which they not only did they show the design of the PlayStation 5, but they also gave us a whole line of products, including headphones, a HD camera, a charging dock. What else am I missing?
They showed a charging dock?
Yeah.
I definitely missed that. I remember the camera and the headphones. There was another thing. You're right. I guess that's what that other thing was.
Yeah, it's probably the charging dock, the controller. I would say the headphones. Yeah. So, and the headphones supposedly have the RealSense 3D sound, which the PlayStation is capable of. And the design is it might be jarring for some. A lot of people are split. I'm seeing a lot of jokes about it, like people putting PlayStation 2s and white binders. And
I saw
I saw some dude, he taped two pieces of printer paper on the side of his Comcast router. Yeah. It was like, thank you, baby. This the best gift ever. It has this vase, almost like a vase or, a very expensive flower that is yet to bloom.
What did you call it in our reactions video? What did you call it? A MassEffectTulip.
Oh, a MassEffectTulip. You called it a MassEffectTulip. That's exactly what that is about. So they announced a bunch of games. Well, first of all, how do you feel about the actual look of the PlayStation? How do you feel about this row?
I'm not mad at it at all. It's different. I'm glad they're moving away from the boxy type of feel. It's a little bit reminiscent of the PS3, how they went from the box to the curvature. But these are some nice curves. Okay,
I like the curves. Banging, bro. She got the Jessica Rabbit sketch body. It's good. Fucking I think I like it. I think that.
What about disc versus no disc?
Oh, definitely the no disc looks better, but both
Which one
as a design standpoint.
Which one you getting?
Neither. If the leaks are right about it being $800 at least, they can. I'll be playing that bitch in Walmart like I did when I was 12. Boy. Midnight runs to Walmart to play some Gran Turismo 6, boy. But fucking no, I like it. I think from a brand standpoint, it reminds me a lot of what like the Tesla truck is about to do and things like that. Where you just put out, iPhone has done a couple times where you just put out this thing that seems jarring because it's not like a lot of things,
right? It seems, but jarring.
It's gonna set a standard. It is. It's not that bizarre. It's not that bizarre. It's just a departure. Nintendo does it all the fucking time, but they live in their own universe.
That's their status quo.
Exactly.
That's like if they do something normal, we're like, what the fuck is
this? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So but I do agree with that. Like that, it is kind of a return of the curviness of the PS3, where they were trying to make this piece of when PS3s first came out, you wanted people to see that shit on,
in your entertainment system.
Like PlayStation, you feel me? Like now my you see my shit is just like in the cut. Like if it's perfectly in there, I put shit on top of it all the time. You got stickers on it, I don't even show it off. But like this, that shit's right next to the router, pretty as hell, like untouched. You feel me? But I like the design. I like what they're doing. Is it what I pictured it would be? Hell no. But that's not bad, like I said. But let's talk about the games, though. Did the games do it for you? Because this was really more of a game-focused event.
I would say the games did it for me. And let's just cut real quick. Alright, so let's talk about these games. Right.
For
so
PS5.
Games that stood out for me personally.
Yeah. What's your top picks?
My top picks are Spider-Man. Got to know that. Hitman
3 did happen.
Big fan of Hitman.
That's crazy because I keep forgetting that Hitman happened.
Yeah, right. Horizon happened. You almost missed it.
Yeah, I did.
I was little the Sackboy game, the Little Big Planet game. I was really messing with that. RE8 and GTA 5. I'm excited to play GTA 5 on the console.
Why did the RE8, Resident Evil 8 looked like it was running on GameCube? Like, this shit was not. And everybody said that. At first I thought it might just be us, like maybe our TV can't handle all this greatness. But like everybody was talking about that shit, like this shit look like.
I mean, it is. You got to realize, like they were on a YouTube live stream, which is super compressed, and then they're showing probably 4K footage. At 1080, which is compression on top of compression. So.
Well, are we not having these problems with the other games though?
Maybe it just looks too good. Maybe they're doing too much.
Whoa. Slow down there, buddy. Okay.
I don't know. I think RE7 looked pretty good.
7?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked great.
So I mean, I'm not down it.
I mean, yeah, it's all right.
It just
perturbed me. It was just like
the anti-aliasing wasn't
okay. So we've been having this conversation about is Sony too late for the party, and that's one of the things they can't afford to do. Like all this shit got to be crisp as hell.
I feel like overall it was pretty crisp.
You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Ain't no cyberpunk footage about to come out looking like that. You feel
me? You're right. But you know what? I am one thing that I did notice, or that later on I did realize, like none of the new IP that they show, none of it really grabbed me.
Oh yeah, I mean it was something that looked cool as far as art direction. Cool. Like we talked about that one game.
Like the first,
what was that one game with it had the cartoony type
the Bethesda game?
Yeah, no, that wasn't the Bethesda
game.
The Bethesda game was the Timeless game. That's the new IP. That IP looks great. That looks like a Bethesda game for me. I'm not the biggest Bethesda head or anything, but that looks like a Bethesda game for me. But yeah, I think overall I'm excited. I think I'm really excited about it. Yeah, the Sackboy game looks like a good platformer. I'm a big fan of Ratchet and Clank. Big fan of Spider-Man. Was wonderful. And the Grand Theft Auto 5 announcement, of course, the best game of all time. I have to stand early on episode 1. Watch me. It's first out the gate. Grand Theft Auto 5 is the best game of all time. Let's just get that out of there for your boy. But period. It's the Jay-Z. But yeah, no. I think Grand Theft Auto 5, that's a great announcement. I don't know what game in this context has spanned 3 systems like that. Like it's several games that can get ported or updated, especially if they come out towards the end of a console life, or end of a console cycle. But we're talking 3 here.
Yeah.
Like the end of 3 is when we got it. That's like, don't worry about it. Put it on 4. Gave you first person, online, going crazy. Everything looks better. Now enhanced and expanded.
Yeah, what does expanded mean?
See, so what I'm thinking
what do you think it means?
Okay, so I'm thinking that not only do we have Los Santos looking better and, running all the capabilities of the file, so we got some ray tracing and shit like that, potentially. But also, I think they're going to add new locations on the map. I think they might add an island here, or some other shit. Or could they be potentially, which is an unprecedented move, but I wouldn't put it past Rockstar, are they expanding this Los Santos to to eventually connect to other shit? Because I think the way we're about to see games come out is going to totally change with this iteration too, especially with what you're hearing about Spider-Man, like how Spider-Man isn't necessarily Spider-Man 2, but it's not a remake of Spider-Man. It's Miles' own story, but it's pretty much, I think, like how they kind of phrased it makes it seem like they're making New York bigger.
Right, like everything's expanding.
Yeah,
right?
and it's not all Miles Morales play. It seems like.
Really,
From what I was just something I was looking at, a video I was looking at today, because they were talking about how like it's not a remake. It's it's not it's not a sequel. So what is it? And that was the big thing about the article. And they was just talking about everything that the developers talked about, and it's kind of still confusing. It's still a cloud of fog on it, but. I could see Rockstar doing something like that. Like where, now we're going to have this Grand Theft Auto 6, whatever. The next Grand Theft Auto will be in a place like, because the leaks now are saying it's supposed to be like 3 locations, one of them including Vice City, and some things like that. So I could potentially see them, moving towards something
kind
like that.
Kind of segue.
Yeah, because you look at
from this one.
Like it's just because there's no rules anymore. You feel me?
It's
like,
not.
Fortnite has been in beta this entire time.
Exactly.
This entire time.
Making more money than
everything but Grand Theft Auto, bro. Like, Fortnite was like, well, damn, big bro, I see you. You doing that? Watch this. Like this, we never even had the baby that is Fortnite. This nigga is getting fed in the stomach still.
Right. Have you ever played the?
No,
the
because it's supposed. The single player shit is supposed to, like, you have to pay like. It's like $40 or some shit to get it, but like it's supposed to come out for free. It's supposed to come out for free anyway.
You probably paid more for. Like
I've probably spent $40 on Fortnite. I've bought a couple seasons.
You should have just gotten the game.
You have to think because you get V-Bucks like every day if you get the single player thing. But also like
nobody's playing it. Just,
I mean, yeah.
I already spent the $40.
Because it's still multiplayer too. Like, but it's just like cooperative 4-player, like defending, like zombie defender game.
And I prefer a cooperative experience.
Yeah,
like that, a PvE experience.
I mean, the thing I play the most is you know what I'm saying? I play groups of 4 the most on Fortnite. I played like single player 3 times, won once. So
single player is rough, man. It's always so tense.
Well, not 3 times because I've had to get like trophies and like get tasks done. So I probably played it more than that. But I definitely won the first one I did on the new island because as soon as you turn it on, they just drop you into the new island and you got to explore. Definitely just, you know, beat the storm. I played the storm, you know. Played the storm. I had to kill like maybe 5-6 people. Won. Great, you know, my favorite way to play Fortnite. I'm a pussy, it's okay. But as far as like the highlights though, yeah, for me obviously Horizon 2 is, you know, Aloy is my baby. That's, you know, but I'm a sucker for a red hair protagonist. As we know, if you don't know, a little fun fact about me, it's not creepy. Every time they give you an option to choose a gender, I choose a female and I make a black female with red hair. Because, you know, at the time, I don't know why. Ever since, it just happened on Street Volume 2. So ever since I've had this character, light skin with red hair, for whatever. And that's just, you know, she saved the world. She's beaten Michael Jordan in basketball tournaments. She skateboards pretty well. Like, she's excellent all around.
You let your inner self shine.
And this is why... See, this is the problem. We're supposed to be
Demon
debunking.
Souls.
We're supposed to be fuck Demon
I
Souls. Dude. Let's talk about your Demon Souls. Let's talk about your fucking Demon Souls.
I forgot Demon Souls. How can I forget
Demon Souls? See, that's why black people can't be themselves. It's people like you.
I'm not judging you. I make a.
I'm not judging me. Why would you judge me?
Exactly.
I should be judging you. No, you don't.
Make a female character, not with red hair, but I do make a female character. Mine has green eyes.
Yeah, got that one thing. See, yeah. Thank you. See, thank you for exposing your heart. Now I don't feel like a fucking creep. Demon Souls. We did forget Demon Souls. Hitman, I'm pretty excited for. Resident Evil 8, I love the branding around it. Like, it came up Village, and I was like, that's a new IP.
Right.
And that shit kind of, like, how they exposed it was fire.
Yeah. You called that shit immediately, though.
Yeah, I did. As soon as it came on, bro, it was like a strike of lightning or some shit. And I was like, this is Resident Evil 8. And then it started playing, and I just shut up, because I was like, hey, it's not. But I didn't say nothing. Then it was. I was like, yeah. So we drank to that. We played a drinking game that's going to come out soon on JIR, so watch out for that. But yeah, is Sony too late to the party? Do you think that this was a good showing? Good enough to have people... Obviously, you know, Sony fanboys are going to be satisfied, such as we are. But, you know, like, do you think that it's a valid competitor for, you know, how Xbox is coming? Because I think we know a lot of what's going on with Xbox.
Yeah.
More so. But
I was about to say, at this point, we know about the same amount of things. Like,
I think PlayStation had a better showing of games. Doing it in that one sitting
I would say
makes me feel like right now Sony has better, especially exclusive shit. Because I'm thinking Cyberpunk is Cyberpunk coming to?
Yeah, Cyberpunk's coming to everything.
Oh, yeah. Xbox got Gears.
Xbox. Well, the Xbox thing wasn't really exclusives, you know.
No, it's more being a powerhouse.
Exactly.
Which it is more powerful than the PlayStation. The PlayStation does like this neat, like it does this trickery to get to the same thing.
We don't know.
We don't know.
So like this trickery could you know outfox
very
the
well,
Xbox.
it could.
You know,
it
we
could.
won't know.
But yeah, I think, just coming out with a powerhouse like that, but Xbox just went with the tried and true. They almost, they made a tower pretty much.
Okay, so Xbox, PlayStation over Xbox as far as design wise.
I don't want to say that because they're both different.
You know
they're both stepping into different.
Yeah, they are, and I do like the Xbox design.
I like the idea, but they're both pretty much towers. Like, how many people you gonna having that shit sitting down? That PlayStation stand up, boy. That's a centerpiece. Like, that shit gonna be in the middle of the entertainment center. The TV gotta get moved. I'm here to see the PlayStation, bro. I don't give a fuck about what you playing. Like, but no, I design wise, I don't know who I call it yet. I gotta see this shit in person. I really gotta see that PlayStation in person. Yeah. I don't think the Xbox is gonna marvel me as much when I see it in person.
Right. But I think it's striking enough. It's different from what they've been doing to make you gaze.
I do like the design of the Xbox.
Yeah.
I like the top. I like the little honeycomb thing
at the top. That's really what
that's
I
just
mean.
fire. That's just fire.
That's really
but they're both separate. Now I want to see what this white material on the outside of the PlayStation 5 is too, because it looked kind of like this textured thing. When they were going through it. No. It looked kind of textured, nigga. It looked like you know what I'm saying, like some like one of them textured wallpapers my mama just left white and put up in the house. Like, it's kind of like, I like it. But I don't think that's a valid question yet to ask who's going to win this war.
Well,
as usual, I think everybody wins.
That's not the question I asked.
Huh?
That's not the question I asked.
No, I'm saying I was about to ask.
Okay.
I was thinking about what I was about to ask.
Oh, okay. I'm like, no one asked that question yet.
We didn't even get there. Slow down. You got a little too much dip on your chip, brother. All right, so yeah, outside of new games coming out, a lot of new music came out this past week or two. Between Freddie Gibbs, Alchemist, Alfredo, wonderful album. Run the Jewels 4.
Album. Yeah, RTJ,
fantastic album.
Funerals,
extended.
The album art, I like that.
Yeah, the extended version of Funeral just came out, which, right on time, the same way Nicki does, her shit with 6ix9ine. Yeah. Which, I guess just came out today, the video. But, yeah, Lil Wayne starts off the album with a Doja Cat feature. In which, not all of us, hate Doja Cat. That's still my nigga. I still love Doja Cat. But I understand where people are coming from. But, yeah, how do you feel about that? Because I feel like Funeral it wasn't necessarily a full album release. It was 7 new songs on top of the album. But they were smacking. A lot of them smacking. That little Uzi shit smacking. I think he got Benny. Is Benny on there? Did I hear a Benny feature or some shit like that?
I don't know.
I think Benny's just on everybody's shit.
Right. I've literally been hearing Benny on there.
Because Benny's definitely on Alfredo. But yeah. So
that Yachty shit is tight.
yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we got some things to talk about. So highlights of these albums. RTJ has a Fire 2 Chainz feature and a Fire Pharrell beat and feature that I'm really fucking with that Pharrell track. Yeah. RTJ just has a lot of shit. Like LP comes out the gate swinging, Mike is solid, right where he's supposed to be. Not saying that LP was rapping better than Mike,
revolutionary raps.
But yeah, right on time. Like their timing couldn't have been better. Like the video for Ooh La La it speaks for itself. People having a party. It's more of it's not a riot. They burning shit, but it's more of a party feel for debunking what 100%. We hope that a couple weeks.
Exactly. It's like the music you riot to.
Yeah. Got that one AirPod in. Really getting it, really kneeling in there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? All my allies. You know what I'm saying? If you need some music to rage to, you know what I'm saying? Nothing like listening to LP. Go the fuck off. Makes you feel proud. That's it. Yeah. That's a cool white guy to have on this side. But yeah, like I said, Run the Jewels was great. Funeral, Lil Wayne is still doing some of the best rapping of his life. Yeah. Alfredo, though. Let's talk about Alchemist and Freddie's chemistry versus Madlib and Freddie, because Alfredo is hard as shit.
Alfredo is hard, but come on now. Compared to
that motherfucker. Bandana, because Pinata, I think Alfredo is better than Pinata, but I don't know if it's better than Bandana. I think that there are two. Well, I don't know. I really like Alfredo right now, though. And also, Alfredo is like my favorite thing to eat.
I like Gibbs a lot right now.
Yeah, I like how Gibbs has it. Like,
it's just funny. Like,
what?
No, it was just like this was like last year. On Spotify, you know how Spotify tells you like you're in the top 5%. It was like you're in the top 4% of Freddie Gibbs fans. I was like, no shit.
I've been playing a lot of Freddie
Gibbs.
Right,
I've been playing a lot of Gibbs.
A lot of Gibbs.
But no, I fuck against the Gibbs.
Yeah, no, fucking. I mean, I do too for a minute, but
and like this is just another addition to that already great repertoire. Like,
this is true.
Like,
yeah, I've been fucking with Gibbs.
And I've been fucking with Alchemist for a minute too. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
Needless to say, I think that this is some of Alchemist's. I don't hear no misses on this. You feel me? Alfredo is pretty cold front to back. It might be the best out of this bunch, technically as an album. I'll say that. But it's so many highlights on these other albums. Like when we get to Little Boat 3, and this is another article I'm writing about. Y'all need to leave Lil Yachty the fuck alone. Because that boy can rap now. He done fucking with y'all. He's been done for the last, since Lil Boat 2. Like Lil Boat 2, what was it, Nothing to Prove or some shit? And Lil Boat 3, my boy has been smoking. But yeah, Lil Bo 3 has potentially the best verse of the year on it. Coming from Tierra Whack. Shout out her.
Hell yeah. Tell me why I thought that was JID when that shit
first
came
out.
I was like, whoa.
It's like, damn, JID just hop in there. Oh, no, that's not JID.
Not at all.
That's not JID. Hold on, JID might not rap this good. But Tierra Whack smoking any competitors or allies, to be honest. Yeah, I had to put my pen down. I don't need to look at the computer for this. Yeah. How do you feel? Lil Boat 3 as a whole, I really like his video rollout too. Like starting with Oprah's bank account, and then that split. The split video is fire with them at the little ending up at the little trampoline place and shit. Yeah. Like I like Yachty a lot. Him and Uzi both. I like Yachty's. I like Lil Boat 3 more than I like that Uzi album. Now I will say that. That Uzi album got some shit on it, but yeah. I don't know. Like Uzi has, Yachty is more so in a medium that I can fuck with. Yachty be all over. I mean, Uzi be all over the place, and it'd be. And
that's what I like about Uzi.
But yeah, the people like that term. Like, and I don't mind it. Like, I got my songs I like on the album, but a lot of it just, it wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? As much as, that first Uzi album was, But, yeah, Yachty. Yeah, I've been fucking with Yachty for like 4 albums straight now. That's my dude, man. Yeah. He's crazy. But yeah, that Tierra Whack verse was nutty. Like, oh, God. Just the first 8 bars was just like exhausting. Like, when somebody raps, you just tired of it. Like, oh my God. You can't do this. You can't do this to people. So yeah, that was a good reaction. But yeah, as far as videos, and then not to mention like what Freddie is probably gonna end up doing with some more Alfredo videos. Already, Freddie's videos just be so. But that's the thing. That's why Yachty's videos is fire too. They funny niggas though. Yeah, they both funny as hell. Like Oprah's bank account is just so ridiculous at most of the time, most of the video. Like most of the video is just ridiculous. So. Yeah. But that's a week in the books, my guy. Yeah. I do want to say this. This is something that we're going to put on our site, but like we talked about at the beginning, we hinted on. I just want to take this time to, maybe officially say something. As far as JIR goes as a company, it's really short as far as what the mission is now. We really want to have a platform where we can amplify Black voices, and we also want to do cool shit. We would love it if people would do cool shit with us, and then we could do this shit
together.
you know, we do this shit together and forever. But I do want to take the time to say that it is emphatically our belief that Black Lives Matter.
100%.
And fuck 12. 100%. So, just in case anybody's wondering where we stand. Also, we will be on our social medias, which we'll be launching this week. We will be having links to resources. There are still protests going on. There's still a lot of charities going on. Shout out to Thankful for Chicago. They've been feeding a shit ton of people these past this week, last week. Feeding a shit ton of people on the west side and south side. They're doing really good work over there. I believe you can follow them on Thankful Chicago on social media, but I'm checking that right now.
We'll have all the links.
But we'll have all the links in the video. Yeah, just check the video for links. Yeah. Really, everything helps. And yeah, don't be doing it to flex. If you really an ally, come on with it. You know what I'm saying? If you're really about fucking with your people, come on with it. If you hit a stunt, you keep that shit in your pocket, my guy. So, yeah. So, let's get to the last Joe and Roe. So,
who we got today?
Joe and Roe / Joints in Rotation / JIR. It's about cycling. It's about, hey, you still have not lit that joint. You like the joint? We about to smoke this shit off.
This is the last Joe and Roe.
This is the last Joe and Roe. Oh, yeah, you right. My bad. We need to roll 2 joints an episode. I'm sober and shit. Well, no, I'm sipping. All right, so as far as our Joe and Roe for this week, with everything going on, I really wanted to do a flashback Joe and Roe. So the last joint in rotation I was gonna put would be Mick Jenkins and Superboy, Treat Me Caucasian. So if you go on YouTube, still check that out. It's a video that came out probably about 4 years ago, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, or whatever. I don't remember. We were at the set.
That was about
high as shit. I was high as shit on that set. Anyway, but yeah, still check that out. But I think my last Joe and Roe, because the shit is that good, is gonna have to go to the song off Lil Bo 3, TD.
Hey.
Lil Yachty, Tyler the Creator, A$AP Rocky, and Tierra fucking Whack spitting the most non-whack verse I've heard in 2020.
That shit, we'll smoke to that.
Yes, we can smoke to that.
That shit busted. That shit. As we wind down the show.
We could. Too bad we just can't play it
right.
on there. But anyway, however, also, just so you know, man, anything you want to sign off with, man? What you learned this week? What you learned this episode, man?
Man, I learned a lot.
Like a PBS show.
I learned a lot about like filming and like recording and stuff this week. No, but real talk though, there are a lot of efforts going around in Chicago, as far as like giving aid to people in need.
Facts.
Throughout these riots and.
Yeah, and throughout them doing shit like cutting the CPS food program that was feeding a lot of families.
They did reinstate it like 2 days later, but
did they?
Yeah, but
people don't want that shit no more.
Because like we
do it so good out there.
But yeah, so just stay tuned on the site. I'm gonna post an article to let you know like where all the people are helping people out. You know, all the efforts in Chicago.
Organizations. It's real easy to digest if you look at our socials too. We'll have them up there.
Yeah, we'll be posting that on the socials as well. Our socials are Twitter is at Join Rotation. That's JOIN Rotation, and Instagram is Joints in Rotation.
Ooh, well that sounds like a good place to leave off for me. So I am Speedy Calhoun.
This is it.
And we are signing off. Make sure you keep them joints in row. Now let's go to Tierra Whack.
I'm an officer, I'm going to the daddy, we're going to the drag.
I'm good. I'm done.